It started on a quiet Sunday morning. My aunt, who had always made the world's fluffiest pancakes, stood in the middle of her kitchen, spatula in hand, and said, "Wait, what was I doing again?" We smiled. "You're making breakfast," we said. She laughed it off. But a week later, she left the stove on. The next month, she forgot her own birthday. At first, we told ourselves, "Oh, she's just tired." But deep down, we knew something wasn't right. She wasn't just forgetting things. She was slowly becoming someone we didn't recognize. Most families face moments like these, moments that feel small but carry the weight of something bigger. And the hardest part? We often miss the warning signs because they're not loud or dramatic. They're quiet, subtle, easy to brush off, like repeating the same question 3 times in an hour, or suddenly struggling with everyday tasks like using a microwave or writing a check. We call it aging, stress, or just being forgetful. But these can be the earliest signs of something much more serious: dementia. Right now, over 55 million people worldwide are living with dementia. That's nearly the population of South Korea or France. And according to experts, this number is expected to nearly double by 2050. The most heartbreaking part? Most people don't even know they're in the early stages until years have passed. By then, precious time has been lost. Time that could have been used to slow things down, to plan, to live more fully. That's why this conversation matters. Because early awareness can change everything. But here's the hopeful part. Dementia doesn't hit overnight. It sends out quiet signals, like whispers from the brain, giving us a chance to notice and act. And when we do catch it early, when we face it with knowledge instead of fear, we give ourselves or our loved ones a real fighting chance. That's the purpose of this video. To walk you through the 10 early signs of dementia you should never ignore. Signs that often go unnoticed but hold the key to better outcomes, longer independence, and more precious moments together. So whether you're watching this for yourself, a parent, or someone you love, stay with me. Because this video could be the beginning of something powerful. Not just awareness, but action. Not just fear, but hope. Let's learn what to look for, what to do, and how to protect the mind. That incredible organ that holds your memories, your relationships, your very sense of self. Because you deserve to live with clarity, dignity, and peace at every age. Let's be honest, getting older comes with changes. Your joints get stiff. Your eyes don't see quite as clearly. You might forget a name now and then, or walk into a room and wonder why you came in. That's normal. But dementia is not just normal aging. It's not forgetting where you parked. It's forgetting you drove at all. It's not just a foggy morning. It's a slow unraveling of how your brain works, piece by piece. And that's why spotting the signs early matters, especially after age 50. See, your brain is like the command center of your entire life. It helps you think, speak, move, remember, plan, and connect with people. As we age, it's common to lose a bit of speed. That's called age-related cognitive decline. But dementia is deeper. It interferes with your ability to live independently, and the changes can start 10 to 15 years before they're obvious. That's right. The early stages of dementia can begin in your 50s or even late 40s. Silently. That's why we need to talk about this now, not later. There's a dangerous myth that dementia only happens in your 80s, but research shows many cases begin developing decades earlier. By the time someone is diagnosed in their 70s, brain scans often show damage that started long ago. In fact, doctors now believe early detection could add years of clarity to a person's life. That means more time enjoying your grandkids, more time cooking, dancing, gardening, or traveling, more time being you. But to catch it early, we have to recognize the red flags when they first appear. And that's where most people go wrong. Because the signs aren't always dramatic, they show up quietly, like a friend who slowly stops returning your calls. At first, it might look like forgetting appointments or losing interest in hobbies. Then it becomes harder to manage your medications or pay your bills. Family members might notice subtle changes in mood, more irritability, more confusion. And if no one speaks up or seeks help, the disease keeps progressing, silently. Another reason it matters after 50? That's the decade when brain resilience starts to dip. You've had decades of life behind you, with stress, maybe high blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar issues. All of these factors can impact the brain's blood flow and energy. Add poor sleep, a sedentary lifestyle, or loneliness, and the risk climbs even higher. They're the time to act smart and early. And let's be clear, dementia is not just about memory loss. It affects your judgment, language, attention, and even your personality. People begin to withdraw socially. They may. That's why your 50s and 60s are not the time to wait and see. Get paranoid or depressed. Tasks that used to feel automatic, like cooking or navigating, suddenly feel foreign. And without support, they begin to shrink away from life. That's heartbreaking, not just for the person, but for everyone around them. But here's the powerful truth. Dementia is not an immediate death sentence. It progresses in stages. And in the early stages, especially with Alzheimer's or vascular dementia, people can live well for many years if they get the right help. There are medications, therapies, memory care strategies, and lifestyle changes that can slow the decline. But you can't get that help if you don't know the signs. That's why this video isn't here to scare you. It's here to prepare you. To open your eyes, gently but clearly. So that if you, or someone you care about, starts showing early symptoms, you'll know what's normal and what's not. You'll know when to talk to a doctor. You'll know when to lean in, not brush it off. Because what you do in those early moments can change the entire journey ahead. So, are you ready? Let's go through the 10 early signs of dementia you should never ignore. After that, I'll walk you through simple steps you can take right now to support brain health, stay sharp, and protect your most important asset, your mind. Let's keep learning together. Let's imagine your brain like a city. Every part of that city has a purpose. Some areas help you speak. Others help you remember faces. There's a part for movement, one for decisions, and another for feelings. Now picture a power outage hitting certain neighborhoods. First, the lights flicker. Then a few streets go dark. Eventually, whole sections stop working. That's how dementia spreads. Gradually, subtly, but with growing impact. And unless you understand how it works, you might miss the early signs, or worse, ignore them until it's too late. Dementia isn't just one disease, it's a general term for a group of symptoms caused by damage to the brain. The most common type is Alzheimer's disease, but others include vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, and frontotemporal dementia. Each one starts in a different part of the brain and affects people in different ways. But what they all have in common is this. They interfere with your brain cells, how they communicate, store memories, and help you function day to day. In Alzheimer's disease, which makes up 60 to 80% of all dementia cases, the brain gets clogged with harmful proteins. One is called amyloid, which forms sticky clumps or plaques between brain cells. The other is tau, which tangles up inside the brain cells themselves. These proteins block communication, cause inflammation, and eventually kill brain cells. Imagine trying to make a phone call in a city where all the towers are down. The signals just can't get through. That's what happens inside the brain. Now, vascular dementia is a little different. It's caused by problems in the blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to the brain. Tiny strokes, sometimes so small you don't even feel them, can cause major long-term damage. When parts of your brain don't get enough oxygen, they begin to die. It's like turning off water to a garden. Over time, things start to wilt and fade. And if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol, your risk is even higher. Lewy body dementia is another type, where abnormal clumps of protein, called Lewy bodies, build up in the brain. This type affects memory, movement, and mood, and often causes vivid dreams or hallucinations early on. It can look like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's rolled into one. And then there's frontotemporal dementia, which affects personality and behavior first, often in younger people under 65. It's not always about memory at the beginning. And that's what makes it tricky to spot. So, what causes these changes in the brain? It's rarely one thing. It's usually a mix. Genetics. Some people have a family risk lifestyle. Lack of exercise, poor diet, smoking chronic conditions like diabetes, obesity, heart disease. Poor sleep, especially if you have untreated sleep apnea. Lack of mental stimulation. Your brain needs challenges to stay sharp, and even loneliness plays a role. Because human connection is powerful brain medicine. But here's the good news. And I want you to hear this clearly. Your brain is not helpless. Even after 60 or 70, your brain can change and adapt. This is called neuroplasticity. Your brain's ability to form new connections, strengthen old ones, and build backups when others fail. It's like building a detour when a road is blocked, the traffic keeps moving. The more you use your brain, the more resilient it becomes. That's why brain-friendly habits matter so much. Exercise boosts blood flow to your brain. Learning something new creates fresh pathways. Social interaction protects emotional memory. Healthy food nourishes neurons. And quality sleep gives your brain time to clean up the day's damage. It's not just about doing crossword puzzles, it's about building a lifestyle that supports your brain from every angle. But here's the catch. You have to start before major symptoms show up. Because by the time dementia is obvious, damage has already taken place. That's why this video is so important. By understanding what's happening in your brain, in simple, non-scary terms, you're giving yourself the power to act early. To change course, to protect your mind and your memories before they slip away. Now that we understand what dementia really is, what causes it, and how the brain changes, let's get practical. In the next section, I'll walk you through the 10 early signs of dementia and give you simple habits and foods to support brain health starting today. Because it's never too early and never too late. We've now arrived at the most important part. The 10 early signs of dementia you should never ignore. These are signs I want you to watch for, track, and act on, either in yourself or someone you love. For each one, I'll give you a real-life example and 1 or 2 things you can do starting today. Ready? Let's go. Everyone forgets things sometimes, but this is different. It's when someone forgets recent events, important dates, or keeps asking the same question over and over. Example: your mom forgets she had lunch 30 minutes ago and asks again if she's eaten. What to do? Play simple recall games or use flashcards. Eat a handful of blueberries daily, rich in antioxidants that support memory. Keep a visible calendar and label routines clearly. Struggling to follow instructions or manage things that once felt easy, like paying bills or following a recipe. Example: your dad, who always managed the monthly finances, starts missing due dates or double pays bills. What to do? Use brain teasers, Sudoku, or number puzzles. Add fatty fish like salmon 2 times a week, loaded with omega-3s. Use automated bill payments to reduce stress. This is when someone forgets how to do basic things they've done for years, like making tea, using the TV remote, or driving a familiar route. Example: your uncle gets lost driving to his local grocery store, where he's gone for 15 years. What to do? Walk through familiar routines daily and speak them aloud. Use visual prompts or step-by-step sticky notes in key areas. Include walnuts in your diet. They help with cognitive function. People with early dementia may lose track of days, months, or even where they are. Example: your neighbor thinks it's winter in July and asks when the snow will melt. What to do? Use large print calendars and clocks with dates. Do morning stretches in sunlight. It helps reset circadian rhythms and anchors a sense of time. Keep routines tied to daily light, e.g., walk after breakfast. This includes trouble reading, judging distance, or understanding contrast, especially when driving or pouring drinks. Example: your aunt keeps spilling water because she misjudges how full the glass is. What to do? Get regular eye exams. Sometimes it's vision, not memory. Eat more spinach and kale. They're high in lutein and zeaxanthin, which support both vision and brain health. Add contrast stickers or handles to household items for better visual cues. They may struggle to follow or join conversations. They stop mid-sentence or repeat the same story. Example: your cousin begins calling everyday objects by strange names like food cutter instead of knife. What to do? Read out loud for 10 minutes a day. It keeps language centers sharp. Add turmeric with black pepper into meals. Supports mental clarity. Encourage conversations at mealtime to keep speech active. It's normal to lose things. But early dementia can cause people to put items in strange places and not remember how they got there. Example: your loved one puts the TV remote in the freezer and insists someone stole it. What to do? Set up labeled storage bins, one for keys, remotes, glasses, etc. Keep the home clutter-free. Clutter increases stress and confusion. Practice visualization, making unusual decisions, like giving away large amounts of money or dressing inappropriately for the weather. Example: a parent gives their ATM PIN to a stranger on the phone. What to do? Imagine where you're placing things. Review finances together monthly with a trusted family member. Eat eggs, full of choline, which supports the brain's decision-making regions. Install caller ID and scam filters for phones. They stop doing things they used to love. Social events, hobbies, church, clubs. Example: a friend who loved gardening suddenly gives it up and spends most of the day in bed. What to do? Invite them to group activities, even short walks or games. Use gentle encouragement, not force. Isolation makes symptoms worse. Consider vitamin B complex supplements, helpful for mood and energy. This might include increased anxiety, confusion, suspicion, depression, or a lack of interest in things they once enjoyed. Example: a warm, funny grandparent becomes withdrawn, easily agitated, or suspicious of family members. What to do? Practice deep breathing or short meditations. Just 5 minutes helps. Get sunlight daily. Vitamin D3 lifts mood and sharpens thinking. Add magnesium-rich foods like bananas, seeds, and leafy greens. Prioritize sleep. 7 to 8 hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep helps your brain clear toxins. No screens 1 hour before bed. Move every day. Even light walking increases blood flow to the brain. Aim for 30 minutes daily. Drink green tea. It contains L-theanine and EGCG, compounds that reduce stress and boost focus. Cut back. Sugar and processed foods. Too much sugar causes brain inflammation and memory decline. Use honey or fruit as natural sweeteners. Laugh, connect, stay. Social laughter activates multiple brain regions. Talking, playing games, or sharing memories keeps your brain young. Remember, you don't have to do everything overnight. Just choose 1 or 2 habits and begin. Your brain will thank you in ways you'll feel every single day, in clarity, energy, and peace of mind. We've covered a lot already: the emotional warning signs, the science, and the action steps. But before we wrap up, I want to talk about something just as important: what not to do. Because even with the best information, many people make avoidable mistakes that lead to delayed diagnosis and unnecessary suffering. Let's make sure you don't fall into those traps. I forget stuff too. It's just normal. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. While it's common to forget names or misplace keys once in a while, dementia-related memory loss goes beyond that. It starts interfering with daily life, decision-making, and relationships. If it's recurring and noticeable, it's worth getting checked. Don't let denial steal your time. Early action means better options and more time to plan. Many people think, we'll see how it goes, until it becomes a crisis. By the time someone forgets how to eat, dress, or recognize family, the damage is often severe. Remember, dementia doesn't begin with something dramatic. It begins with small signs that compound over time. Don't wait until the fire's blazing. Notice the smoke and act early. This is a big one. People often avoid medical checkups because they're afraid of the diagnosis. But guess what? Many conditions mimic dementia. like vitamin B12 deficiency, thyroid problems, or medication side effects. These are treatable. A proper cognitive assessment can give peace of mind or open the door to support, treatment, and planning. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Brain health is deeply affected by your lifestyle. Lack of sleep weakens memory and fogs thinking. Stress increases cortisol, which shrinks parts of your brain responsible for memory. And social isolation speeds up mental decline faster than many physical illnesses. Treat your brain like a garden. It needs sunlight, nourishment, rest, and connection. Don't neglect the simple, daily habits that keep it alive and well. Let me tell you something important. And I want you to remember this. It's never too early and never too late. Even if you or someone you love already has early-stage dementia, there are ways to improve quality of life. Through brain training, better nutrition, movement, and structure, people with dementia can still live full, meaningful lives for many years. What matters is starting. So let's turn this knowledge into action. Pick 2 or 3 signs we talked about today and write them down. Think about whether you or someone close to you may be showing any of these patterns. If yes, gently bring it up. Don't accuse, just care. Schedule a checkup with a doctor, even just for peace of mind. Begin building a simple, brain-healthy routine. Walk, sleep, connect, nourish, and play. You don't need to make every change overnight. Just one small step can start to shift your brain in the right direction. If you found this video helpful, or even a little eye-opening, there's more you'll want to see. In our next video, we talk about the 7 superfoods that naturally clean the brain after 60. Including one you probably already have in your kitchen, you'll learn how to reduce inflammation in your brain, improve memory, and stay mentally sharp, even into your 70s and 80s. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss out.